Well, the mining industry represents about $1 in every 7 in Australia's national economy. It directly employs around 300,000 people, indirectly around 1.1 million. It's without doubt our most productive industry. The 2 budget surpluses that the government previously announced were largely the result of mining and minerals prices. So why would you shoot that very industry in the foot, you might wonder? In fact, the mining industry itself is wondering exactly that point. Well, today, the Chief Executive of the Minerals Council, Tanya Constable, went to Australia's heart of mining, Perth, and said this: "This is not the time to play nice with fair weather friends. You either support mining or you don't." In other words, to politicians of all sides, you're either with us or you're against us. Tanya Constable joins me now from Perth. Tanya, many thanks for that time. Can I say, you came off the top turnbuckle in wrestling terms. I mean, you're trying to deliver it to politicians of both sides squarely that mining counts and will be heard.
Well, we're coming into an election, Ross, and we want to make sure that politicians in every party, as independents, know that mining is important to the economy. It's certainly important to Western Australia, which is the backbone of mining across Australia. And we were really disappointed in what we saw in the budget only 48 hours ago.
Well, you didn't see anything in the budget. That was the whole point, wasn't it?
Well, we didn't see anything, that's right, in the budget, Ross. We would have expected to see the junior minerals exploration incentive continue. It's a terminating measure that finishes on the 30th of June 2025. We need that measure to make sure that junior explorers provide a pipeline of projects for the future. It's so important to the industry, and it's madness that that was not in the budget at this stage.
OK, but that's one measure which I would term as being anti-mining. But I've got a few others that I'll throw to you at the same time as well. Let's go through some of these. Now, one of them, quite clearly, is the billion-dollar McPhillamys gold project, which was banned by the Environment Minister in New South Wales. Another is the WA ban on uranium mining and production. There's also the ban on the Jabiluka uranium mine or potential mine in the Northern Territory. There's the deferring of the decision, which again is Tanya plebiscite, of the $30 billion expansion of the Northwest Shelf, which I know is energy, but it's sort of your area. And there's also the exploration ban in the New South Wales offshore PEP 11 province as well. So in every one of these examples, it's resources companies which are stymied from getting on and doing their job.
There's a complete lack of understanding of how important this industry is. We're seeing environmental activism across all of the resources sectors, and that's just not good enough. As you mentioned, a number of projects there, not least of all the Northwest Shelf. That project was only requiring just approvals on its existing infrastructure. It's been pushed out to the 31st of May, and that's a political decision to get it on to the other side of the election. And why? Because the government is competing in inner city areas of Sydney, in Melbourne, in Brisbane, where there's a competition between the Greens and Labor. And Minister Plibersek herself is competing against a Green. So it's just beggars belief that we are not seeing a project like the Northwest Shelf that provides domestic gas into Australia. It provides a lot of exports for Australia. It provides thousands of jobs for Australia, and that's been pushed out. It's just not good enough when we're seeing project after project brought down by activism in this country. Things have got to change, and that's the sort of change we want to see within the Environment Protection Biodiversity Conservation Act.
All right, so even in the speech today, that you basically have said that it frightens you that there could be the prospect, the very real prospect, of a Labor-Greens government after this election, because quite clearly gas projects simply will not go ahead, but a whole lot of your other members in different minerals might also struggle to get projects up.
It should frighten everybody. A Labor, Greens, Teals minority government has set already an agenda. There is an ask by the Teals and Greens to stop resource projects, to stop coal projects, to stop gas projects in Australia. They are the money makers for this country, along with, of course, gas and gold. If we stop those projects, then we stop revenue coming into Australia. $77 billion in company tax and royalties, with the mining industry paying the lion's share of those taxes and royalties. It's really going to impact the government services that can be provided if you stop the mining industry. There is no Medicare changes without the mining industry, and I think everyone in Australia needs to understand the importance of this sector to everyday Australians.
OK, so your members are the big mining companies of Australia, the big resources companies. Will they enter this federal election? Will they use their voice? Will they have the backbone to enter this debate?
Well, we're already starting to see that with companies across Australia. Some of our companies have stood up and said, we're going to take our business elsewhere. We're going to take our business to Canada. We're going to take our business to the United States and into areas that have normally been politically unstable. Now, we have got to see projects, even just to maintain our current projects in Australia, remain here. We fear that is not occurring. We don't have the replacement pipeline just in iron ore staying in Australia. So everybody has to stand up. The mining industry has to stand up, the whole resources sector and every business across Australia. Businesses say to politicians, this is not good enough. Protect those industries, protect those businesses that we need in Australia. So use your voices, use our collective voices to say we want to see the change and we want to see it now, because we want business in Australia, not elsewhere around the world.
Tanya Constable, Chief Executive of the Minerals Council in Perth, many thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me, Ross.